Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Can we bring some more energy, please? Good evening.
Good evening.
Fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, welcome to Dubai Toastmaster Club. My name is Rashid Syed. I'm a sergeant at arms for today's meeting number 737. As a Toastmaster, we have to make a promise, and the promise is we must provide a supportive and positive learning experience to the in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skill, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. As a Toastmaster International, we have 4 core values, which are respect, integrity, service, excellence. So last time I did a quiz, so I have some gift for Mr. Saleh, who did.
Even I didn't get last time. Last time I didn't get. You said next time we'll give.
Okay.
When did he answer?
And one Mr. Santosh.
But I used ChatGPT to answer that.
This is for you. We have one more winner, Raj Chatter. I hope it's
Pushparaj, he
Pushpa.
is not here.
is not here.
He told me to collect on his behalf. He told me to collect on his behalf.
Okay. So that's it. Anybody else? No, I think we are good. So in Toastmaster, we refrain talking about 3 taboo topics, which is sex, politics, and religion. In order to run a smooth meeting, there are a few rules we have to follow. The first is kindly switch off your mobile phones or shut them, put them in a silent mode. Try to avoid movement when the speaker is on the stage. So, because that causes distraction to both audience as well as the speaker. The third point, encourage the speaker while entering and exiting from stage. And the last but not the least, in case of any emergency, you can move to the door. There is one more door here also, in case if you want to move from outside, you can. Now, I would like to introduce our president, extremely diligent and charming. But I also want to tell you, last week she was unwell. In spite of having fever, she made every possible effort to make this event successful. Please put your hand together for our new president, Nisha Gandhi.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are recharged and invigorated after a long break. And it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to meeting number 737. I now announce meeting 737 as open. As we embark into this new term, into this new chapter of the new term, I can't help but draw parallels with the feeling of being newly married. It's like moving into a new home with all the excitement and the uncertainty which comes with it. Every day we meet new people, new family members, try to develop a rapport, manage expectations, create a positive impression. And sometimes there are visitors. Again, we put up our best minds, present our best selves, and create a beautiful impression in front of them. Whilst all this is very enduring, it is very fresh, but it can be also very demanding, very unnerving. And we are acutely aware that this is just the beginning of the term. We have a long way ahead of us to go. And all eyes are on us, eager to see what we will accomplish. And sometimes under extreme pressure, Sometimes we might stumble, we might fall. There might be a temptation to retreat. But in those times, we remember and we will remember the commitment that we have made to the club, which is akin to the sacred vows that you take during a marriage. That is, to be with your partner in, anyone? Sickness and in health, in thick and thin. And whilst we navigate through all these pressures and we try to get a footing right, we urge you members to be patient, to give us the support that is required. Because for a successful marriage, my dear friends, it's not only the partners who have to respect each other and be with each other and understand each other. It also requires the strong support of the family members. A successful marriage lies in the foundation, and that foundation is the whole family. So I urge each and every member to extend that support to the new ExCom team. And we promise you that we will let the club thrive under our stewardship.
You should have told me all this 29 years back. Too late for me.
Now let me take you to the presentation. Thank you, VP sir. I hope now we are loud and clear. So
Just hold the big one. Just hold on the big one. Hold it.
sorry about this one.
Big one.
Apologies. So let me tell you about Toastmasters International. Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization, and it started on October 22nd, 1924. It's been 98 years, and some of them have won a prize to guess this answer today in our club. Thanks to Toastmaster Rashid, who sponsored the gift, the beautiful pen. The founder of Toastmasters International is Dr. Raj Medley. We have Toastmasters International has overall 282,000 members in 144 countries and 15,000 clubs, 150 clubs in UAE. So the CEO of Toastmasters is Daniel Rex, and the international president is distinguished Toastmaster Matt Kinsey. They employ about 150 plus professionals worldwide. So the benefits of joining Toastmasters is immense. It helps you develop your communication skills, your leadership skills. It also, you get a constructive feedback when you do roles, when you do speeches, you get constructive feedback on all your roles and speeches. And you gain competitive advantage at your workplace. So it does not only help you in your personal life, but also your professional life. So Toastmasters has something called a pathway. It's like a training program, and it's a very structured program. And we have 11 different pathways, and each pathway has 5 levels, which focuses on some core competencies. So as an example, if you pick a pathway of dynamic leadership, it will focus on the competency of 1, 2, 3, and 5, that is public speaking, interpersonal skills, strategic leadership, and confidence. And if you choose engaging humor as your pathway, then it focuses on public speaking and confidence. So this is the org chart of the Dubai Toastmasters Club. Some clubs form an area. We are under Area 6 in Division B, and we fall under District 1 to 7 in Region 11. Our international president is Distinguished Toastmaster Matt Kinsey. Region 11 director is Distinguished Toastmaster Shahbaz Ali Shah. Distinguished Toastmaster Deepa Surendran is our district director. Distinguished Toastmaster Anita Biju is the Division B director. Our area director is Toastmaster DVL Kasos, and this is me, your president. This is my fabulous 7 XCOM team. Right here is VP Education, Toastmaster Joy Veenda. Our beautiful VP Membership, Toastmaster Nasreen Ali. A charming Suketu Dani as Vice President Public Relations. Our Sergeant at Arms, the very generous Toastmaster. Our Treasurer, Pushkar Thakkar, who's on a holiday. Secretary, Toastmaster Amina Salma, who's also on a holiday. And this is our IPP, Immediate Past President, Divi Alkasos, again on a holiday. So all of them are holidaying currently, not with each other. About Dubai Toastmasters Club. Dubai Toastmasters Club chartered on April 1st, 1996. It's been 27 years to the club, and it is the second club in UAE and mother club of Dubai and Northern Emirates. We have a great mix of veterans as well as new members. Our meetings are always formal, but with a lot of fun. Membership fees stands at 750 dirhams for 1 year and 450 for 6 months. Plus one-time registration of 75 dirhams. Guest fees is 25 dirhams. I'm sure all the guests know by now. So our learning mantra is, we learn in the best moments of enjoyment, as we rightly resonate with the founder, Ralph Smedley's mantra. So these pictures are the testimonial of the fun times that we've had in the DTC. So now we have some guests from other clubs as well as guests who are non-Toastmasters. I would like to welcome you for an introduction. Can you please tell me your name, your profession, how did you come to know about this meeting and your expectations? Please come forward.
Hello everyone, my name is Kalpesh and I'm working in jewelry in Gold Souk Dubai. It's the first time for me in the live. I'm joining this much people. I had it before. I done before in the Sharjah Toastmaster, but it was like 1 month for online only. So this is the very first time for me. I'm holding a mic on my hand. I'm talking with you people. Thank you so much.
Toastmaster then.
Hi everyone, I'm Toastmaster Dilan Joseph. I'm a member of 4 clubs, District 82 and District 127. My home club is Ceylon Advanced Toastmasters Club in Sri Lanka. Actually, I'm a Toastmaster since 2050 and I went to semi-finals of World Champion of Public Speaking in 2021. So my expectation is to find my next level and move forward.
Thank you. Hello, good evening everyone. My good name is Marius. I'm so happy to be here today and get to know each of you. Very happy and it's very pleasant. I'm working as a construction manager. It's the first time to be here and I learned regarding these events from the Toastmasters posts in the social media, in LinkedIn and other social media, and generally my expectation from here today is to learn more about Toastmasters and also to enhance and gain more knowledge regarding the communication and leadership skills. Thank you so much and nice to meet you all of you here. Appreciate it.
Yes, please.
Hello, my name is Mridul. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. So I'm a member of 2 Toastmasters club. So one is ICAT, which is my home club, and other one is Dreams. So I came to know about the Dreams. I follow Dubai Toastmasters club in the social media. So I do give a close watch.
Thank you so much. Would you like to come forward and introduce yourself? Yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Anam. I'm a guest member. This is my first time at the Toastmasters Club. I work as a career counselor and a head of well-being at a community school in Dubai. And I'm, what else should I say? I'm.
How did you come to know about this meeting?
I think you have a club member VP. So VP's here. VP's here.
There is.
Oh, hi. I didn't see that. So yeah, he recommended because I wanted to join a Toastmasters club. So he recommended this, and I was free today, so I came here. So yeah, and what else?
Your expectation?
My expectation is to learn, get to know more about Toastmasters, see how I like it, and if I would like to join this club or any other clubs, after today.
Thank you, Ms. Anna.
Yeah.
She's a new member of our club, and she's so excited to join us.
Hello everyone, my name is Nuran. I don't have a profession, I've been studying. In a couple of months I'll be going to university, but in the meantime I'm really excited to work on my communication skills, my public speaking skills, and develop my leadership skills as well. I came to know about Toastmasters from my father. He's the sergeant at arms. And I've been talking about developing my public speaking skills, so he recommended me to his club, of course.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. So before I introduce the Toastmaster of the day, I would like to acknowledge the dignitaries in the house. Please put your hands together for past President, Distinguished Toastmaster VP Benjamin. And also maybe the immediate President for some reason. Past President, Toastmaster Sagar Khurana. Now, every meeting has a host, and today we have someone who, past President, Toastmaster Sandeep Adnani. So every meeting has a host or a Toastmaster of the day, and today we have a very dynamic Toastmaster who was missing in action last year, but this year he is full of action, and he is a quantity surveyor by profession. And he is a very good speaker. He has won few area level contests, and his hobbies are watching a lot of movies, and he also enjoys indoor climbing. So put your hands together for the dynamic suave Minesh Ratnadurai.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Madam President. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Can everyone hear me?
You are
Yes.
visible as well.
Sorry?
You are visible as well.
Fantastic. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. How are we all doing today?
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So, as the Toastmaster of the day, I'm tasked with having a theme for the meeting. Something that overarches across all our segments and hopefully teaches us something. I am a quantity surveyor by profession, as you heard, and I work in the construction industry. That's me without a beard. And today, I'm going to talk about something that I'm very interested in. And this is structure. Today, we're going to talk about structure. As a quantity surveyor in the construction field, I see structures all the time. On drawings, in the field, on models, everywhere. But there's something very interesting about structures. So when I say a structure, what do you think of? What do you think of when I say big structure?
A building.
Building. Anything more specific?
A certain shape. Shape.
A shape.
Architecture.
Architecture.
Some blocks.
Blocks.
Burj Khalifa.
Burj Khalifa. That's good.
Harmony.
Harmony. Interesting. Anyone else?
To organize yourself.
My dream house.
So everyone thinks of like building a house, a building, Burj Khalifa, and there's some other ideas there with harmony.
Combination of thoughts.
Combination of thoughts. Okay.
Speech.
Now we're really branching out.
A sequence.
Sequence, yes. So if we talk about structures, we think of things like this. A bridge is a structure. A cathedral, like the one in Moscow. We also think of the Eiffel Tower. So all these are structures, and of course, because we are in Dubai, Burj Khalifa. Right, so there's something in common that these structures have. Can anyone tell me or guess what that is?
A base foundation?
Yes. Close. For what I was looking for. So each of these structures has something at its core. A fundamental frame that keeps it up. If you take away all the nice glass and the aluminium and everything away, this is what you see. A concrete, columns, beams, foundation, or a structural frame. And without this frame, we won't have a building. Why is that? Why would we not have a building without a frame?
It's a skeleton.
Cannot
Skeleton,
hold.
no body.
Structure holds everything.
It holds it up.
Foundation is the key.
Yeah, foundation is key, important.
It's the skeleton of the building.
It gives a
Yeah.
shape.
Yes,
The
it gives a
support-
shape.
support
Right,
is
it gives a
not-
shape, gives a support. Foundation is important as well. Now, if we take this idea, and look at us, what is structure to us?
Our bones. Our
Pathways.
body.
Sign to the pathways.
Skeleton.
Bones. But can we go deeper?
The spine.
Spine's part of the bone. Can
Our
we go
beliefs,
deeper?
Our moral.
Okay. Too far. Not that far.
Our routine.
What makes our bones?
Calcium.
Calcium.
What makes calcium?
Minerals.
Cells.
Minerals.
What gives you
Food.
your color of your eye? What tells you how tall you are?
Genes.
Exactly.
DNA.
The DNA. Bones are important. It gives us support, structure just like a frame. But the DNA gives a little bit of that flair into that structure. It even gives the information of the components that build up that structure. So what I'm trying to get at is, a building is man-made, structure is man-made. But the concept exists in biology. It's there in the physical world. So, if we take that concept, we can understand that there's a fundamental importance to structure. And what we need to do is, we need to take this idea of simple components coming together in a particular pattern, in a sequence, and apply it to our lives. What will we get if we do that?
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction. But it should create a certain path for us, right? And we also need to understand, if you're doing this exercise, why is structure so important? Why is it so important to think about it? And I like to demonstrate this by, again, talking about something that really exists in this world. Graphite. It's a carbon-based product. You would know what graphite is. It's the lead in your pencil. The exact same components that build up graphite with a change in its structure gives us.
Diamond.
You were bursting at the seams till minute. But base component is exactly the same. The only difference is its structure. So, we're discussing structure. It's very important. So, if we apply this to our lives, we can apply a structure to our daily lives, to tasks we want to achieve. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something like, okay, I want to get a six-pack abs, so I'm going to the gym. It could be something much more simple. Maybe staying in touch with your parents. Sometimes you forget, right? You're all here in Dubai, sometimes we forget. But what if we create a structure? Let's meet every week. A routine, a structure. It helps. You won't have that guilty feeling like, 2 months later that I forgot to connect with my friend or my family. So we can apply this idea of structure to other things in our lives. If you create these types of structures, it'll give you a certain way of achieving your goals, achieving certain wellness in your life, and also making big tasks achievable because you apply those small goals. So you can see here that a long journey starts with one step, but one step's not enough. You need many other steps that come after it, and that's the structure you need to create in your life. So another synonymous word with structure would be what?
Routine.
Correct? Routine. But a routine is not enough. Why is routine not enough?
It has to be an effective routine.
How can it be effective?
Habits.
Habits close.
Action.
It gets us the results that we want.
Consistency.
Exactly. Consistency. If you have a routine without consistency, it's meaningless. Create a routine, inhabit this consistency, then you have structure, real structure. So, how does structure help us? If you don't have structure, where you're going is wavy, all around, you don't know where you're going. But if you have structure, you save time, you achieve your goals quicker. And if we all manage to do this, we'll be achieving our goals much quicker. Now, structure also exists in this meeting. We do have a structure. And the structure of our meeting, for the benefit of the guests, is that we have certain segments, and this is our opening. I'm letting you know what the theme is. And then we're going to move on to our project speeches. We have certain pathways, as the president has told us, and then we have our members performing or providing us with that project or speech. And after that, there will be a segment for table topics where we'll have a table topics master conducting impromptu speeches that will help all of you get some time on stage. And we'll then have evaluation, which is very important for Toastmasters. Evaluate the project speeches, understand where we can improve, and then we'll have a report segment at the end. That's the structure of this meeting. And like a building, there are some components, small components we call accessories. The anchors, the flanges. Although we forget about them, they're very important. Right? Without them, the structure falls down. And this meeting also has some of those accessories, very important ones. And they are the silent role players. And we had a quick change in our agenda today. And one of our silent role players is the Greek master. And this Toastmaster has been with us for 2 years. And is so experienced that she was able to step into the role in an instant. And she inhabits structure by making sure that every morning she has a hot glass of water. Please give a round of applause to our Greek master for the day. We also have another silent role player, and you will see him zooming in and out, and he's there taking pictures. This Toastmaster has been with us for 7 years, and I have personally seen his growth in this club. And when I asked him how he inhabits structure, what's his routine, he told me that he honestly doesn't have anything, except he makes sure he comes to Toastmasters meetings. And that has shown results. That has shown results because he was consistent. Please give a round of applause to our shoot master, Toastmaster Simon. And we also have another supporting role player, a very important one, that will help with the timing. He's telling me right now that I'm overshooting my time. He's a past president, has been with the club for about 4 years, and he tells me that the way he inhabits structure is having a routine of always being generous, having gratitude towards his parents, his religion, to having food on the table, and his health and his wealth. Please give a round of applause to our timekeeper, time master, Right. Now we're going to start off by learning a new word. We have the word of the day. And for this segment, we have a Toastmaster who is fresh into our club, just 1 week, and already taking a role. And she told me that she inhabits structure in her daily life, and I would say she's the one who most inhabits it because she has a very structured life in itself. She has a certain time to go to the gym in the morning, certain time to have coffee, certain time to have lunch, and I'm sure it has improved her life for the better. Please welcome on stage our word master for the day, Toastmaster Alexandra. She's been ready.
Okay. Should I take something or you hear me? Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Alexandra and I'm here to introduce you the word of the day. So, wow. Wow.
Before, what you did before.
The switch in between.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, just the big one.
The big one.
Yeah. Click it. Come on.
Oh, that's it. This is the word that I've chosen for today's meeting. It's the German word that is pronounced like Gestalt. It's something that's that is used to emphasize that our mind is using some patterns to structure the information. So the meaning of this word is that it's something organized, an organized whole that is more than the sum of its parts. So as an example, we can have a look at this picture on the top. And if I ask you what you see here, can someone please give an answer? What that is here in the corner? Yes, it's 3 Pac-Mans. but usually the right answer is that there is no right answer, but I would say that here we can see the triangle because our mind can organize all these separated parts into one big picture, and we can see the whole idea, and it will be the triangle. So it works in our life as well, and so it's Gestalt. It's how and the synonyms for this word can be configuration, shape, structure, whole, form, or pattern. And also there can be an example of this principle, like a jigsaw puzzle. It's a common example of this principle. So if you want to use this word, and I encourage you to do this during this meeting, the examples that I have chosen, they are here. So the first one is when analyzing a complex issue, it's crucial to consider the gestalt of the situation rather than focusing solely on individual factors. The second one, the therapist encourages her patient to explore the gestalt of her emotions. And the artist carefully arranged colors and shapes in her painting to create a captivating gestalt that drew the viewer's eye from one corner to the other. So, can someone try to use this word in some sentence? Are there any volunteers?
I would advise the guests who have come today to look at the benefit, look at the, how do I use it? To look at the gestalt of the program, Toastmasters program, which will help them make a decision. I don't know if I used it right, but
Yes, yes.
what I wanted to say is look at the.
I think that the simplest way to use this word is to consider as the whole, as a big one, something. Yes, please.
The competencies you gain is a gestalt of your project speeches.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you. Yes, please.
Toastmasters International designed complete gestalt of public speaking and leadership skills.
Yes. Thank you. So during this meeting, I will be counting. I encourage you to use this word during the speeches or when we will be on the stage, and I will be counting. And at the end of the meeting, I will give you the results. And that's it from my end.
Thank Thank you very much, Toastmaster Alexander, for that interesting word that we have learned today. Now, we're going to move into our project speeches as the next segment. And for our first project speech, we have a Toastmaster who is a past president of the club, and he's contributed a lot to this particular club. And he tells me that the way he tries to embed structure in his life is that he makes sure he stays close with his friends through WhatsApp as a routine and consistently. But with other aspects of his life, he's still working on it. So good luck to him. So, a Toastmaster of 12 years, here to give his project speech. I'd like to welcome on stage Toastmaster Sandeep Adnani. While Toastmaster comes on stage, I would like the evaluator to read out the project objectives.
The purpose of the speech is for the member to present the speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. And the purpose of the project is to practice.
The second speech, right?
Yeah, the second speech, yes. I'm not sure if this is a form.
Okay. So to apply those to the second speech. Toastmaster Sandeep Adnani, self-love, Toastmaster Sandeep Adnani.
If I tell you the words that you haven't experienced true love, if you haven't really loved yourself, I'll repeat that again. You haven't experienced true love if you haven't really loved yourself. What is the thing that comes to your mind? Probably I do already. Well, do you? Have you spent enough time to figure out what are the things that make you happy? Or you might think, isn't that a bit selfish? Well, what's the harm in it anyways, and who is it? Toastmasters today, fellow Toastmasters, guests, to all those in the room who have ever questioned the way they feel, the way they look at themselves, and the way they behave. Wish you all a very good evening.
Good evening.
They say self-love is an act of kindness, and charity begins from home. So let's indulge in a bit of self-love for the next few minutes. For me, the story started years ago, when I was a little child. I had to be this well-accepted, well-scoring, high-performing individual, because it used to make my mother happy. It used to make her proud. Moving on to college life, you had to have a girlfriend even though you're in a strained relationship, because it was meant to be cool. In school, I used to sometimes wear a stud just to make sure I looked nice. Who remembers Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys? He used to have this strange middle parting, and I incorporate that in my head so I can be a part of the crowd. I also pick up the chalk and one day throw at the teacher just to make sure I look cool. And all these things you carry forward to the next phase of life. College life, as I said, I had a girlfriend just to be a part of the crowd, even though the relationship was strained. Moving on to corporate life, and most of you are in that phase already, you end up pleasing the bosses, seeing what they really want, working as per their agenda as opposed to yours. Then you got to get married life. You say, okay, fine, let's get married 24, 27, 28, there's a certain age, let's do it anyways. So throughout your life, I ended up living somebody else's dream and seeing myself being perfect in somebody else's eyes. The question is, was I really happy? In everybody's life, there's a certain trigger for change. In my life, the year was 2011. I had this routine when I used to come back from home, from work every single day. My mom was bedridden for the last 18 years of her life. And I used to come back from work, freshen up, take my laptop to her room, and have a chat with her initially for 10-15 minutes, and just be by her side. Because that was important to her. She used to wait all day just to be with me and spend some time with me. And I was there, having a bit of a chat, after a while, sitting on the laptop and attending to corporate pressure. One such day happened that she looks at me and she says, "Sunny," and that's what they call me. Oh. She says, "Sunny, I've lost the last 66 years of my life and I don't know where they have gone. And I was typing away, and I said, this needs some attention. And I kept the laptop aside. And I said, why do you say that, Mom? She said, throughout my life, I've actually been making everybody else happy. I was married into a joint family where I was serving 30 to 35 people at one shot, giving them food for a few words of appreciation. And then one child, second child, third, and then fourth. I raised up 4 kids, and you guys became my life. But now, when I'm at the brink of it, and I look back, I realize that I spent my entire life just taking care of everybody else, and not looking at what makes me happy. 2 years later, she was gone. Her words struck me, and they stuck by me. I told myself at that point in time, I will never get into a phase like that. And I started the process of change. They say that happiness is a very subjective thing. But most important, happiness is very personal. What happiness is for you is not necessarily the same for me. But the question is, have you stopped and asked yourself in this rat race, what is the thing that makes you happy? Have you spent that time with yourself? And that's where self-love plays an extremely important role. Ladies and gentlemen, you ask yourself the question again, am I being selfish? Well, selflessness itself is a very selfish act in my opinion. Today I am selfless, or I behave selflessly because it makes me happy. So what's the harm in being selfish, and what's the harm in thinking about yourself? It's important to love yourself. I think that's where the process of self-love takes a different kick altogether. There's a very famous TED speaker by the name of Catlin, and she says these very golden words. She said, if you do not love yourself, how can you spread love to others? She goes on and says another statement which was powerful. She said that if you do not raise your value, how will you expect the world to raise your price? And if you think of that in detail, it's a very profound statement. You have to value yourself, and the process starts from there itself. So I encourage you all in this room, spend that little more time with yourself. Get to know yourself a little more better. Take those steps and figure out what is it that makes you happy. And don't just think about it and note it down. Make sure you take all the relevant steps to execute it and pursue your happiness. Because that's where you will find joy. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is indeed a beautiful place. And so are you, and you, and you, and you. And let's initiate the process of that change with that simple thought. Over to you.
Thank you, Sandeep, for that wonderful speech. Now we move on to our second speaker for the day. This Toastmaster has been with us for a little over 1.5 years, a little under 1.5 years. And he tells me that he likes to embed structure by having a routine of practicing guitar 15 minutes every day, and also doing a bit of exercise every morning. He's a data management professional, and he's here to give his project speech, which is a level 5 speech, prepared to speak professionally. Please give it up for Toastmaster Santosh. While I have you on stage, I would like the evaluator to give the purpose statement.
The purpose statement for the speech is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech.
Timing?
18 to 22 minutes.
Toastmaster Santosh Nair, the rise of AI. The rise of AI, Toastmaster Santosh Nair. Thank you.
An hour ago, I was standing here, and VP Menon was also signed, and he put a challenge to me, 13 into 2. I was
thinking. I thought, should I open the ChatGPT and get the answers? And then I thought I should take a revenge. Revenge not only for me people, in fact for everyone. Did for that. I want you to guess who is this Castro? Castro?
Sophie.
Anybody else? Quite near.
Who is she?
Robert.
Yeah.
Siri.
Alexa.
Alexa.
Somebody said Sunny Leon over
Saudi national.
there? Great. So she is none other than, none other than the AI robot, Sophie. Sophie. Now she is the first humanoid robot which was activated in 2016, Valentine's Day. When was Valentine's Day celebrated? 14th February. And do you know that she was in my dreams few days back? Hold on. She came to me and said, Santosh, I want to marry you. Well, marrying a robot, a machine.
You're already married.
I'm already married, yeah, that's a different thing. But they're dreams.
That's okay.
My family is also not around, they're on vacation. So it's okay, makes sense to have such dreams. Well, the biggest worry is that it's a machine. And I didn't respond to her. The dream got broken. And further I started exploring to read some news. And I learned about, in 1984, the famous director of movie Terminator. Have you seen Terminator?
Yeah.
Yeah. Arnold's movie, right? James Cameron once warned in 1984 that machines will conquer us. I don't know if you heard that. And I recently came to know about it. And on the same day, I started exploring further about, let's understand more about machines, what can do to us. And I learned about one more humanoid robot, Anika, which is developed by one of the British manufacturing engineering arts. And it's basically a platform to develop for the robots. Machines can develop AI, that means machines can develop machines. I was literally worried about that. I was worried about the future of mankind. Can AI be dangerous? Is that the question which are lingering in our mind? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the rise of artificial intelligence. And perhaps together with you seek answers to the questions that I have. How to save mankind? What can we do to make AI better, not to conquer us? So before we jump into it, it's important that we understand what is artificial intelligence. Okay. This is one more important part of it before we delve into it, human intelligence. The structure of human intelligence is very important. Now I want to ask you today, what constitutes human intelligence? Anyone?
Brain.
Yeah, brain. More.
Emotions.
Absolutely. Emotions.
Perception.
Perceptions, yes, good.
Problem solving.
Problem solving, cognitive thinking, absolutely information processing. So we have vast variety of information, the intelligence in us. So when the intelligence is fed into machines, it becomes artificial intelligence. Do you agree with that statement, what I said? Or do you have any other definitions? Anyone want to talk about AI, any other definitions do you have?
My wife tells me everything about me is artificial. So I'm assuming I already have inbuilt AI.
That's a sign how AI is conquering us slowly. Well, there are different terminologies to AI also. It's like an umbrella of data science which encompasses machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, reinforcement engineering, and we are still progressing with a lot of technologies under the umbrella of artificial intelligence. There's one thing which I learned, and I'm sure that you heard of this AI recently, isn't it? There's a lot of buzz about AI, a lot of hype about AI. But bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, AI is not new. It's definitely not new. And a few weeks back, I was just going through all my mark sheet. And I learned that I studied AI in 1999. I don't know about it, what did I study, but it's in my mark sheet.
Where are the marks?
Something I cannot disclose. So AI is definitely not new. It has been there from 1,000 years. The groundwork of AI has been started already. It's important that we understand when was the AI started actually. 1950, one of the great computer scientists, Alan Turing, he developed a Alan Turing test basically to test the machines. And that's where he started about having those AI-based programs. And AI has further evolved. In 1955, it was actually born. James McCarthy gave birth to AI. He coined the term artificial intelligence in 1955. If somebody asks you when was the term coined, 1955, remember that. And as we evolved, 1969 was the first industrial robot, Unimate. Now what comes to your mind when you think of industrial robot, industrial structure? Isn't it? In assembly lines you have seen might have a lot of arms. Those kind of robots were developed to help humankind. And in 1964, Elisa is the first chatbot engine. You know what chatbot engine these days? Can you give some examples of chatbot?
Yeah, you call it Salat and there is a
Chatbot, yeah. And you don't get the answers or you get it?
Never you get
So there are a variety of chatbot these days. The first chatbot was invented in 1964, Elisa. And scientists further worked on numerous innovations. 1966, Shekhi, the first electronic person. You know, looks like a person. The structure or Gesart is like a person's. Thank you. And that's where all the hype of AI in those era. And after that, it's a winter time, cold time. You know, everything there is a plateau. Goes up and then comes down. And that's where the plateau started. It's going down. The hype stopped for a while. And then what had happened is, 1997, there was somebody had developed a computer, chess playing computer program. That's called Deep Blue. And I want to share one of the interesting incident about this. 1996, it was actually launched, and there was a game conducted with Gary Kasparov, the chess champion. 6 series game, and that AI system got failed. It did not win. And 1997, again the game was done. So 2 games were won by the AI system. So that's where a lot of redefinement done on their program. And eventually now it's there in the history. 1999 Kismet was one of the emotional intelligence robot again. It's a lot of advancements. I'll not get too much details into this. But as you can see now down, there's a more interesting thing. Sony introduced Ebo. That's a dog. You know, the automatic AI dog. You have seen this in the news before? There's a lot of buzz about even the dog, an AI-based dog. And 2002, Romba was introduced as autonomous robots. A lot of inventions on the robotic side has been done. 2011, that's an interesting phase for us. iPhone. Who is using iPhone here? Okay, very good. What is Siri? Let me ask you this question. Virtual assistant, yeah. Anything else? And in which iPhone series or version it was launched?
4.
Sure.
4S.
You sure?
4.
4S. Very good.
You didn't know that.
Why were you doubting
Did you
him?
use ChatGPT? Right, okay. Right, okay, that's the right answer. Thank you. Then we had Watson, 2011. Watson IBM brought a machine which can answer a lot of healthcare related questions. And further progression has been done on Alexa. Alexa, what it does, anybody?
Everything for you. You
Watch us.
command and then.
You command.
The only
right.
person who listens.
Right. Now can you imagine here, all the robots being developed are gender biased, isn't it? Or female,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
There's some reasons behind it, right? It's still a mystery. And I want to get those answers.
They are good listeners.
Very good. They can penetrate into our dreams easily.
No, because women can understand men easily.
Very
They
good.
can never understand women.
So those are the answers I'm actually looking for it, and thank you for giving this review about those answers. Then further we had other advancements done. Microsoft introduced Tay, thinking about you. That's a part of the chatbot in the Twitter. If you use Twitter, you might see Tay over there. And AlphaGo was one of the games introduced by Google. It's like AlphaGo game. Chinese used to play a lot of Go games. And that's all about the history of AI. Now, you can imagine there's so much of dependency on AI today. This price. Now, a few days back, a gentleman had asked about the core values of Toastmaster. And I was the first who saw that, and I didn't use my intelligence. I used ChatGPT to answer that. But still, I got this prize. I am in dilemma, should I accept it or not? It's not my intelligence, by the way. But you can imagine too much of dependency on AI these days. So there are some of the good dependency use cases which I'm going to talk about today. AI for good. WHO or UN have said that poverty is one of the global challenge we're trying to resolve, isn't it? So what scientists have done, especially the data scientists, they got the images, the satellite images, high intensity satellite images. They looked at the images and tried to find out the areas that need attention. Now how is that done is, those satellites will work in the night, take the pictures in the night, and the scientists will use the machine learning algorithms to predict as to where the attention need to be given. The brightest the picture of the population means there's a wealthy place. And the remaining are non-wealthy where the focus can be given. And this is 90% had worked, and still they're working on to improve the accuracy of those results. This is one of the good achievements that the data scientists have done, leveraging AI. Second use case is about the aviation industry. And as you can see that whenever you go to the airport, what is the first thing which you'd like to see is your gates, right? The plane and the gates that have been allocated. And how is that being done? It's again the AI program, the background that works. Earlier, a lot of people need to involve into manually allocate the gates for each of the airplane. So much laborious work. AI replaced that. And they brought up the system automatically, as the moment the flight lands, it get updated. And there are other things also they had done, the ticket price determination, flexible price determination, education sector. South Korean government last year implemented robots for the education. Now the robots are teaching English in the elementary schools. It's a great achievement. So those are some of the dependencies on AI. A couple of things which I want to talk about is healthcare. Now healthcare have been predominant in my area. The last 20 years I'm working in healthcare, as in the data management field. And I've seen a lot of use cases in the healthcare. Detection of cancer. Now leveraging machine learning, you can predict the likelihood of the patients having cancer by looking at the comorbid conditions, the lab tests, the diagnosis of the patients. That's one of the greatest achievements the science have done recently. Robotic surgery. Can you name some of the robots, surgical robots have been used recently? It was in the news too. Any idea? You heard of the Vinci system? The Vinci surgical system? Okay. So there are a couple of robots. One of the famous robots is in 1983, Canadian doctors have implemented orthopod, basically for orthopedic surgery, 1983. That was the first robot been used in surgical. Second robot was developed in, it was in 2016 if I'm not wrong, and that's the Vinci. The Vinci is a robot used for any surgeries. You can do knee surgeries, any other ENT-related surgeries. There are other use cases which I want to talk about today is the heavy industry. Now again, when you think of heavy industry, what comes in your mind?
Construction.
Manufacturing, construction, assembly line, isn't it? The only thing you can think of, Unimate. What was Unimate? Unimate was a robot, right? So ARM-based, something which is ARM is Unimate. So there are a couple of advanced robots available these days, as a Polar, SCADA. And the benefit of having this robot is it helps in mankind, protects them from harmful environment. You can think of production line is very harmful. It could be of a lot of waste, a lot of heavy goods. That's where it's important that we need to have such strong robots. Finance, I'm sure this is one of your core area. Can you imagine a use case in finance? I want to know from your opinion.
Algo trading.
Algo trading, absolutely. Anything else in
Fraud
personal
detection.
finance?
Fraud detection.
Yes, fraud detection. Anyone?
Check frauds and all.
Yeah, that's a fraud detection algorithms. VP, in your
Forecast.
personal finance?
I don't know what
Forecasting.
is
Scoring.
Yep, scoring.
Forecasting.
Forecasting, absolutely. So in your personal finance, you can use forecasting. I know today what's my conception, and I want to know the next month's conception. You can use algorithms to create forecasting.
What about audits?
Audits also you can use it, yes. You can develop your own. The beauty of AI is that you can develop your own algorithms. Now in the trading, the algo trading is commonly used. Now trading is used for buying and selling stocks, isn't it? So automatically this AI machine will establish that with an indicator, whether you buy or whether you sell. Portfolio management. Now if you're buying a mutual funds and you want to assess the risk as to whether should I go for lower risk or higher risk, these AI programs will help you establish that risk. It will personalize your risk for your mutual funds. Underwriting. The customers, when they write a form, and I believe underwriting is one of the processes in banking, especially in insurance. When the customers write forms, the computers will evaluate, is there any chance the patient or the person might not pay the amount or he's a fraud, by looking all the parameters. So there have been a lot of advancement being done in the finance. Okay, so these are the recent advancements that have been in AI. Can you guess what is this?
It's a taxi.
It's
Flying taxi.
It's a flying taxi, and this is one of the self-flying helicopter, which was launched in China last year. And can you see, this is an amazing thing which they've done it. So we have seen cars, right? Self-driving cars. Now you will see that self-driving helicopters. Tomorrow, I don't know, self-driving aeroplanes probably. That's one of the advancement in AI. What is that? ChatGPT. Can you imagine the number of users today is 2.5 billion. ChatGPT has exceeded. And what can you use? What kind of use cases can you think of ChatGPT? I want to know from you.
To refine your speeches.
Speeches, your researchers, rephrase your emails.
To plan your travel.
Right, correct. Today was my last day in Oracle Cerner, and I had to write a lot of speeches, words, good emotional words to everyone. I use ChatGPT for that matter. So those are some of the advancements. I want to talk a few more advancements, imaging and diagnostic. Now, I'm sure that you heard about this, the Google's computer vision. The treasure lies inside the eyes. Looking at the eyes, you'll be able to determine whether patient have anemic conditions, has any urea problems, or any cardiovascular problems. That's where the technology is so much advanced. Retinal diagnosis called diabetes retinopathy. Now it's a probably severe condition because of the diabetes. By looking at the eyes, somebody can detect, even the physicians can detect basically, that whether there's a likelihood of patient having a retinopathy or not. Now, we have seen that AI has completely transformed our life, isn't it? You agree with me? In our daily life, in our job, the way how we think, the way how we work, without AI, we are not able to do it. But is that a good or bad sign? I really don't know. But I'm still having concern about Will AI replace us? What will happen to us in the future? Will there be an unemployment? Is mankind in danger? I do not know. But there's one thing which I know clearly, that we are divergent thinkers, unlike machines, convergent thinkers. We build machines and we know how to unplug them. Be prepared for the future, ladies and gentlemen. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Santosh, and thank you to both the speakers. You have truly added to the gestalt of what this meeting is going to be. Now I would request the timers report for the speeches.
Speaker number 1, Toastmaster Sandeep, for 6 minutes 22 seconds. Speaker number 2, Toastmaster Santosh, for 20 minutes 37 seconds. Both are qualified.
Great. We will not be voting. We will be voting, but not at this time because we have one more project left. And once that project is done, we will do the voting at that stage.
We will vote using ChatGPT.
Sister of it.
At this time, I would like everyone to get up from your seats and join me here for a group photo.
Is there any AI to take the pictures?
Santosh, please.
We have AI solid.
How are you?
Alex, sorry. I said Alex. Come in. Ladies here. Please sit down. Yes. Come in.
Come here.
They're taking pictures.
Ladies.
No. Come. Stand here.
No smile, nothing.
You tell us when to smile.
What structure we have today?
Gestalt of the picture is the
After AI presentation, we
smile.
are all
The
doomed.
samosa is outside, so.
That's why I'm saving time.
Thank you.
We'll break for a short time now. We'll come back when the
10
Is
minutes.
it 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
7 minutes?
It's like a mind.
Let's start.
How's everyone feeling? Good? Refreshed? Stuffed with samosas? Great.
Food is the gestalt of happiness.
Just that, yes. Samosas are the gestalt of our Toastmasters. Great time. Right, welcome back. And now we are going to be stepping into a very interesting segment, which is our table topics. This is a segment where we have impromptu speaking, and hopefully a lot of you get some time here on stage. Now, this table topics is a little interesting, unlike our regular table topics, because this is also fulfilling a project for one of our Toastmasters, the Table Topics Master. This Table Topics Master has been with us for 9 months, and he tells me that he embeds structure into his life by ensuring that every morning he is thankful to God for giving him a new day. Please welcome on stage Toastmaster Amitabh Sawa. While I have this Toastmaster on stage, I would like his evaluator to read out the project speeches. Project purpose.
The purpose of this project is for the member to demonstrate his ability to listen to what others say. For this purpose, like Toastmaster of the day said, the Toastmaster Amitabh will be conducting the table topic session.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. And to call upon an another guest here. Marius.
Yes.
It's a great opportunity to
Of course.
experiment with ourselves. So yeah, thank you, Marius.
Beginning is the start of everything, correct?
Absolutely. So I think the same topic as you have told.
Yes.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Yes. So this is a very interesting topic because generally in our life, in order to achieve our dreams and our target, we need to start from something. For example, in order to become an engineer, you need to go to the university. You need to study engineering. Maybe you need to make some master's degree, study further, maybe some PhD, and later to become an engineer, be involved in many studies, many things, with the successes and the failures. For sure, the successes will help you to become better. On the other hand, the failures, they are important steps that they are going to make you become better, learn, evolve, and proceed towards the success. So always, it's very important, rather than staying idle, to take important steps in order to walk towards the success. Always there will be successes and failures, as I mentioned before. We don't have to be afraid. Always we need to continue, walk, learn from our mistakes, get the lessons learned, being motivated from both, and succeed to our final target and ultimately our dream. And this is, let's say, our purpose of life. And generally, I would say, one of the many levels that we have to achieve towards the many gestalts of our full competence. Thank you.
Thank you, Marius. Again, thank you, Marius, who wonderfully explained
Thank you so much.
how the one step will create a difference. And again, going back to the examples of our study or any of the work we are starting, if we step one here, if we take the step-by-step approach and we will be able to complete that task. And that will be only possible when we have no fear of failures. And because the success will not be possible if you not tested the failures. So once you will be taking a step, you will bring the consistency into play and you forget the fear of failures, you can achieve your goals. You can achieve anything. Thank you, Marius. We can have one more. So I just wanted to call upon one more member, and she's our president. Yeah, so your topic, collect moments, not the things.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster Amitwa, for this wonderful opportunity again. What are things? Things are something that you can't hold on for long. Things are perishable. You tend to forget things. For example, if it was a birthday, if my husband would get me a wonderful watch, of course I will remember it for the rest of my life. But that said, it is the emotions that count. For example, if I fight with him on that day, then how does that thing matter? I will still keep fighting with him for the rest of the year, reminding him that he spoiled the beautiful day. So what are things? What is an importance of a thing? Can things get the moments back? No. So I think you have answered your own question when you asked me a question that are things more important than moments? Definitely, we will hold on to the things, but more important than things are the moments, because the moments will last for a lifetime. That's it from me. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Anisha. And she explained very diligently that how the moments are precious and important rather than things. She explained that when in anniversary she has been gifted by her husband a gift, yeah, and maybe that spoil that moment, so that the moment will be remembered forever, but the things maybe not be remembered or be perishable, but that moment of that unhappiness will remain forever. And when we are all in Toastmaster Club, we will know that get the membership, we have to pay the things, which is the money. But the moments which we'll be getting every meeting is a priceless. You cannot value. So thank you, Nisha, for that. So with that, I am hand over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Amitav, for the table topic session, as well as the summarizations that you gave as part of your project. Now, at this time, since we have all the projects completed, I would like the timer to please give the timing for Toastmaster Amitav's project first.
Only for Amitava, it was around 4 minutes 55, only for that when he was speaking.
Okay.
And then
The
for the
timing,
speakers,
how does the timing work, Nisri, for that? The requirements for the timing in the project, in the purpose
8 to 10.
statement?
So 8 minutes, 9
No,
minutes and 5 minutes.
as part of the project evaluation, it's 5 to 7 minutes speech, right?
There is no time.
No,
He
there
has
is
to
no time,
conduct
it's a
the
table
session.
topic.
Ah,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
There is no timeline for
All
it.
the time speakers.
Yeah. Now the speakers
Yeah.
part, Toastmaster Joy 2 minutes 10 seconds, guest Anna 1 minute 26 seconds, guest Marios 1 minute 38 seconds, Toastmaster Nisha 1 minute 20 seconds.
So everyone's
Everyone is qualified.
So we'll first do the voting for the best speeches and projects,
It's
right?
on. It's on.
Okay. You can scan the code here and vote. This is only for the members of the club, the voting.
Members and Toastmasters.
Yeah, members and Toastmasters. If you finish voting, I'd welcome you to take a few seconds to drop a note to the speakers and Toastmaster Amitav's project as well. Give some feedback, what did they do well, where can they improve, things like that. It's always helpful. Toastmaster Joy, are we getting the...
2 minutes will wait.
Okay.
1 minute?
2 minutes too long.
We'll change it.
Yeah, how's
Still I'm getting.
Okay, we'll
We'll continue with the mentee and then let him continue to proceed.
No, another vote is there.
yeah, we have to do the second
Oh,
vote
okay.
after. Oh, rush me late to the party.
Yeah, typing the code and everything.
Okay, now the table topics.
Okay.
On.
So it's the same, yes, same, I believe it's same password. We vote for the best table topic speech.
Table topics,
Guests
everybody
also
can vote.
Yeah, table topics everybody can vote.
Members and guests can.
Please scan the code and do we have the results coming in?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, now we're going to move into a very important segment of our meetings, which is the evaluation portion. So as you've seen, members of the club give speeches and perform their projects. One thing that we really value in Toastmasters is getting a good evaluation, getting some good feedback, so that we know what we can improve, as well as what we're doing well and to continue and excelling at that. So for that, we're going to start with the evaluator for our first speech. The evaluator for the first speaker is a Toastmaster that is in the manufacturing and trading industry. He's almost a year with Toastmasters on and off, with Dubai Toastmasters Club. And he tells me that he embeds structure in his life by having early morning sessions where he feeds his pets and waters his plants. Please welcome on stage our first evaluator, Toastmaster Umar Wakas.
I'll give it a shot without the... Thank you. I've been inspired by Toastmaster BP last time. He didn't use the mic. So I'll give it a shot. I hope everybody can hear me. I have been given this Herculean task of evaluating Toastmaster Sandeep. And the reason I say that is because I've heard him speak before when I was starting off. As an evaluator, I was paying real close attention to a lot of things, the body language, the speech. But he really hit home when he said, is a person who's selfless, is he not selfish? That really drives it home because I've pondered about it, I've thought about it, and he has a very valid point. And since then, the way he took it forward, the way he presented his speech, he walked in, he was on stage, it was such a smooth flow. I didn't feel that there was a pause in the middle. I didn't see that now the speech is going to start, so it was a very natural flow where he came in. He made a statement, and then he repeated the statement to make sure everybody is in sync with what he's trying to say. And he asked us a question, which is always a very good way to engage the audience. So I thought the anecdotes and the way he engaged everything was spot on. He made us laugh. He provided true stories. He gave very insightful incidents from his own life, which is never an easy thing to do. But he somehow found the humor and also the importance of what he was trying to convey. The body language was very strong. There was a lot of hand gestures, some facial twitches, some movements. So overall, it was a very engaging experience to hear him say that. He had pauses with punctuations, and he seemed very natural in his flow. As you can see, my evaluation is very structured. I just had this paper, so please bear with me. Clarity, very clear, audible. It was very natural. He used the vocabulary at the right time. However, having heard him speak before, I thought because he was portraying and conveying a very close message, there could have been a little bit more variety in the vocabulary that he used. The tone, the speed was in flow, volume was audible, it was not overbearing. It had consistency, but also in the tonality, I thought with the vocabulary, there could have been movement because I think he's very capable of that. So the tonality and also the way it was expressed with the hand gestures. So this could have been maybe something we can work on. Eye contact was perfect. He scanned the room. When he walked in, he took over. He looked at everybody. He made sure everybody was engaged. So this was perfect because it was very close to the speech. The gestures. So the gestures were in sync. The minute he said something, the hands moved in a certain way, and they amplified what he was trying to say. There were certain words where he really used his hands. He highlighted them. But I think there could be a little bit more variety because there were a couple of gestures that we used that were like this, there was like this, but also when he expressed sadness, there should have been some, maybe we can work on something that makes him go down a little bit. Audience awareness, as I already mentioned, engaged, in the zone, he was connected. The comfort level, mastery of expressing, I think he was very comfortable there. The audience were engaged. The gestalt of the topic was encapsulated. In a very chronicle structure, the bracket of time, he took us back into that spot in time in his life. Some areas maybe where we can really do, I know that voice modulation was there and everything, but I really believe that he's very capable of doing that modulation even more. There can be an ebb and flow to the way he does it. But overall, the speech was done very nicely. It was very engaging. It hit the spot. One of the last challenges that I think, which I would really like to see, is there are very few Toastmasters which I think can actually deliver this, and Toastmaster Sandeep is one of them. when he presents speech, maybe because he has this comfort zone, which is amazing, he does a great job in it. So if he steps out of that comfort zone and tries a little bit something different, maybe it's not completely humorous, maybe something else, I would really love to see that. But overall, it was a fantastic presentation. Thank you.
We're going to move on to our the evaluator for our second speaker. The Toastmaster that we have as the second speaker's evaluator has been with us for 6 months, and he tells me that he embeds structure in his life by having a routine of always being thankful for the small things. Please welcome Toastmaster Manoj George. George Manoj, apologies.
The rise of AI. What a captivating 20 minutes by our fellow Toastmaster Santosh Nair, which deserves a warm round of applause. Considering the meeting's theme is structure, I'm going to stick to 3 positive points and 3 points of improvement. Firstly, an amazing point about Toastmaster Santosh is he's professional. From the very moment he stepped onto the stage, his poise, the way he looked at the audience, the language that he used was truly professional, which truly shows what a masterclass of a presenter Toastmaster Santosh is. Humor. The 20 minutes didn't feel like 20 minutes. The humor throughout, his personal anecdotes, his mark sheet, his movie likenesses, all of it was conveyed to the audience, which made it, to my third point, engaging. Engagement, engagement, engagement. This 20 minutes was truly an engaging experience to all of us in the audience that truly didn't feel like 20 minutes. And again, one round of applause to Toastmaster Santosh for that amazing 20 minutes. I have to applaud again because I'm going to get to the points of improvement here. Point number 1, the presentation slides. I'm sure Toastmaster Santosh, as a tech-savvy person like you could really punch a bit more above your weight in those presentation slides. The first slide, I couldn't really see Sophie. The definition of AI may be a bit too cluttered. When we give a keynote speech, the concentration is on you and you alone. This, just a blank space, picture, creating the vibe, nothing more. Next, ask calibrated questions. Almost at every beginning of each slide, you pause to ask, hey, what do you think about this? Although it's engaging. When it's a keynote speech, the amount of interaction between the speaker and the audience tends to be quite limited. Lastly, gift wrap your speech. You started on by coming onto the stage and talking about how Toastmaster VP Menon asked you what is 13 and 2. And you ended by saying, let's all be ready to unplug AI. But imagine if you could have ended saying, 13 into 2 is 26, and I'm ready to unplug AI. That would have created a lot more impact to that ending of the speech. Professionalism, humor, engagement, PowerPoint skills, calibrated questions, and a gift wrap to the wonderful present of 20 minutes that you gave all of us. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Santosh.
George. We're going to move on to the evaluator for our third project that was done. This Toastmaster is the current VP membership of our club, and she's been with us for a year, and she tells me that the way she embeds structure is by having a routine of doing yoga. Please welcome Toastmaster Nisreen.
Distinguished Toastmasters, guests, members, good evening. The purpose of this evaluation is to evaluate the speaker, Toastmaster Amitava, to evaluate his active listening skills. For that, the speaker, or Toastmaster Amitava, should make short affirming statements after each speaker's speech to indicate that he indeed heard and understood each speaker. Toastmaster Amitava has been very actively presenting speeches and projects in our club, and it is very nice to see how well he progressed throughout his journey. The speaker was very comfortable, I can say, as table topics master, and he was actually actively listening. He made short affirming statements after each speaker's speech, which indicated that he heard and understood well each speech. I also noticed that he maintained his gaze on the speaker, and he was very focused on the speaker and very attentive to what each speaker was saying. And the way I would do it is once the speaker would finish to make his statement to the table topic speaker, I would personally address the speaker directly instead of talking to the audience. For example, I would, after Toastmaster Joyveer's speech, I would look at Toastmaster Joyveer and I would say, "Thank you, Toastmaster Joyveer. I can see that creativity is very important for you and that you make strong points how sometimes structure may not support the creativity." Otherwise, it was very well done. The speaker also maintained the consistent eye contact with all of the audience. And another point, suggestion, is that since English is not our first language, I would just make a little effort to focus on the pronunciation of each word, because sometimes we might speak very fast, or in our own home country's accent, and sometimes it is not very easy to understand. So that's just my humble suggestion. Otherwise, overall, very well done, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nesreen. And I'd like to thank all the evaluators for the valuable feedback. I'm sure the outcome for all of our members will be a gestalt of all of that feedback that's been received. Now, I would like to call upon the timers report for the evaluators.
Toastmaster Umar Vakas, 4 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster George Manoj, 2 minutes 55 seconds. And Toastmaster Nesreen, 2 minutes 48 seconds. So Toastmaster Umar is disqualified.
Only two
George
qualified.
and Nesreen are qualified.
Okay. So we move on to the voting, which you can scan the barcode here. So, okay. You get the results coming in? Great. Thank you for voting. And now we're going to move into another segment of our structured meeting, which is the reports segment. We're going to start off with the report for the word of the day. And I'd call back Toastmaster Alexandra to give the report.
Hello. So
You
this
can
was
come on.
a fruitful meeting for the Gestalt. It was used 5 times. The first time it was used by our speaker Santosh Nair, who presented as the artificial intelligence. Then our Toastmaster of the Day used it during his speeches. Then it was a break, and our president mentioned Samosa Gestalt, and that's also counted the third one. Our guest Marius, when describing his big journey with small steps, he used this word. And the first evaluator, Umar, used it during his evaluation speech. So 5 times, thank you. Well done.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. Now we're going to go to, so we have a grammarian in our counter in the meeting. This Toastmaster is actually a guest with us today, coming from Emirates Toastmasters, and is firstly part of the Ceylon Advanced Toastmasters from Sri Lanka. You would have heard him speak when he came to give his introduction. And he's a well-seasoned speaker, been a Toastmaster since 2015, And he tells me that he likes to embed structure in his life by always waking up and trying to put routinely trying to put a smile on someone's face. Please welcome to the stage our guest, Toastmaster Dylan Joseph.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. I'm sure that we had a rollicking experience in this meeting. So I handled two roles today. One is the R counter and the other one is the grammarian. So as the R counter, I was a silent role player, was listening to you throughout the meeting and collected all the R's, and all the clutch words and long pauses that you had during the meeting. And I started it from the Sergeant at Arms. So Sergeant at Arms had two long pauses, and the President had 4 R's, 2 so's, and 2 repetitive words. This is including the table topic session. And the TMOD had 15 R's and 2 ands and 2 so's, which was inappropriately used. And the word master, Alexandra, had 2 R's and 2 ands. Toastmaster Sandeep had no R's. I couldn't count any. It was a smooth switch. And Toastmaster Santosh had only 1 R. That's all for the 20 minutes. And the TT Master had 2 R's and he used 3 ya. Something which was uncommon, so I had to write it separately because it was inappropriate. And the table topic speaker 1, Toastmaster Javir, had 1 and 1 R. And guest Anam, you had 2 R's, 2 so's, and you used 5 times, but she's there. For a guest and the first speech, it was perfectly all right. And I'm sorry I couldn't get your name.
Minesh.
You didn't have any R's, any M's for that table topic. And Toastmaster Umar, for the evaluation, he had 5 R's and 2 M's. And Toastmaster Manoj didn't have anything, any clutch words or any fillers. Toastmaster Nishrin had 5 R's. And as the grammarian, my duty was to listen to you all from the beginning of the meeting and until the report, the good usage of the language and the language that we can improve a little. And I saw that you have been using very decorative words to keep the interest of the speeches, and I found invigorate, in sync, enduring, and there is something called lexical sector. Like when you get a theme, the words relating to the theme is called the lexical sector. So I found anchor, accessories, inhabitat, structure. So like those words which would help us to very much concentrate on when it comes to the lexical sector. And there were beautiful phrases used, try to get the footing right, over arches across the segments, and act of kindness, and it's start from home. If you don't value yourself, how can you put a price tag on you? AI, there are a few words which I thought we could have, a few sentences which I thought that we could have more improved it further, like use AI better, not conquer us. We could have add a but, which brings a straightforward meaning, like use AI better, but not to conquer us. And one speaker used clouds comes. It should be, if it is clouds, it should be come. So those are the things which I've thought which we could improve, and all in all, we had a great fun, lots of learning, and sometimes when we had a heavy meeting, we feel the heaviness on the head also, but it's fun, it's not heavy, and it's very light. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dylan, for that extremely thorough report. We really enjoyed it. Now we're going to move on to the next report, which is a very important report, as we have one Toastmaster here who's been keeping an eye on the overall meeting, and will give us some feedback on the full structure of this meeting and how it has been conducted. This Toastmaster is a senior member of our club. He's been a member. He's been a member for 21 years, and he is a past champion speaker as well, very humorous speaker, and he's personally been a mentor to some of my speeches. He tells me that he likes to embed structure in his life by every day making sure that he wishes happy birthday on Facebook. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster.
Thank you, Minesh. Before I start off, I want to say that the time management in this meeting today has been excellent. Let's give ourselves a big round of applause. And especially to the Toastmaster of the day, because I was looking at the time when my turn was on the agenda, it was 9:14, and that's when exactly he came here to announce the general evaluation. Well done. We've been struggling with the time management for a while, but I'm very happy that things are falling in place. So as general evaluator, I would generally evaluate the entire meeting. My perspective on how things went. We started off on time. In fact, all of us were waiting eagerly for that countdown, right? But when everybody is waiting, it helps to have something on the screen, you know. So when people are here, maybe a loop of some images, pictures, whatever, you know, we can put together something so that it's running in the background. So people have something to see as they sit there for it to be 7:15. Well done, Rashid, on starting exactly on time, mentioned the rules well, and everything that needed to be done was done. Yeah, excellently done. Some suggestions is one is that, something in the loop out there for people to see, and also the rules when you say, you know, you can have some images coming there, like a presentation. Don't use phone, you know. We used to have that earlier. Some visual appeal is there when you say it, you know, so it's nice. That's what I feel. Then, of course, introduce the president, and we're stuck with the same president for the whole year. And it's challenging for the sergeant at arms to introduce the same person in every meeting in a different way. You know, you can't repeat the same thing, right? But luckily for you, there's so much to speak about her, so you won't run out of words. Yeah. She gave that message about the metaphor used about newly married, and you know, and that was a good message actually. Although I wish, like I said, I heard this 29 years ago. She mentioned about the Toastmasters International, all those things that a president has to introduce to the audience. And then, of course, the introduction to the Toastmaster of the day was done well. Few suggestions. I think that presentation can be revamped. Yeah, I'm sure you have some talent here in the club who can make a nice presentation for you. I don't know whether you love the screen more or you love us more, because most of the time you were speaking to the screen. Yeah? So look at the audience when you present. In case you want to see what's on the screen, you can always see it here. Or take a quick look and then start speaking. Don't speak when you're looking at the screen. Avoid that. Another thing is the guest introduction. Now earlier, we never used to call the guest here. We would just, the sergeant at arms would give the mic and they would speak from where they are. There are a couple of advantages in doing that. One, we save time, because there's a lot of time wasted when they come here. Second, they're guests. They're coming for the first time. And then you suddenly call them here and give them a mic. It can be a bit, for some guests. So let them speak let them be comfortable where they are. And also, like I said, and when they're speaking from there, they can actually see the questions. When they come here and you make them stand this side, they can't see what's the question. They have to go check, you know. So yeah, so probably good idea to make them speak from where they are. Then came the Toastmaster of the day. I mean, he's somebody from whom I love to learn because he's an amazing speaker, he is really talented, and he is a great asset to Dubai Toastmasters Club. Yeah, Minesh has always been an excellent speaker. With a good theme, structure, and he went into some details of the structure at the beginning, and then linking it to routines and stuff like that. Good introduction to all the role players, and he kept the meeting going fast and on time, so that we are on time. Whichever role he does it well. So he's somebody who prepares well. He's sincere about everything. He doesn't just take up a role and then come and say, oh, what should I do now? Today, let me do it. No. He's a person who's structured, I would say. Are you?
Very
structured? Yeah. Good. I like to see the structure in others. Anyway, then came the word master, Alexandra, new member, but well done overall, yeah, the whole thing explained well, the slides. If possible, try to use the collar mic instead of holding because you had your phone, you had something else on your hand, so it becomes a bit challenging. So better to use the collar mic instead of holding the hand mic. Project speeches, 3 project speeches, but 1 project speech was done as a table topic master role, which was by Amitava. So it was his role as a table topic master, but that was also part of his Pathways project. Well done, explained the rules well, good. I wish we had called more speakers, but then yeah, some project speakers took a lot of time, so so you could call only 4 people. But nice, good simple topics. Yeah, very nice. Suggestion is, if possible, try to give the topics the Toastmaster suggested way. The Toastmaster suggested way is you throw the topic and then you decide whom to call. Now why they say do it that way is, if you call somebody and then give a topic, only that person is thinking about that topic. Others are all thinking about the samosa. But if you do it the TI suggested way, you throw the topic, everybody starts thinking about the topic because they don't know who's going to be called. You understand? And when we start thinking about the topic, that itself goes a long way in improving our impromptu speaking skills, because it starts with the thinking. So if possible, do it that way. You were supposed to, so when you are doing it as a project also, you are supposed to give sum up the speech, in a line or 2. So when doing that, I would have loved it if you came to the center, because that you are doing it as a project speaker. Yeah, so you could have come here and then given that. Yeah, otherwise done well. For some speakers, you did not repeat the topic. You said it only once. So it's always good to repeat the topic. So say it twice. Sometimes you may not hear it well in the first time. So it's always good to, yeah, that's a few suggestions for you. Then we had the evaluations. Umar, the first evaluator. It is a pleasure to listen to you. Where's Umar? Oh, okay. It's always a pleasure to listen to Umar. Although he's a new member, his evaluations are good actually. Yeah, he's very motivational, very analytical. And what I like is, although he's a new member, he uses the word he. He doesn't say, you did this, you did that, which is not done in an evaluation, because we're evaluating for the entire audience. So he always goes by, the speaker or he, which was very nice. He should watch time. I don't know if he was aware what his timing was, so that is why it was read and he was like, it's okay. He was not even looking there, so I don't think he was well aware of the timings. Maybe we need to educate him on that. George, an amazing speaker as always. It's always a pleasure. You bring in that energy when you come here and speak. Very motivational and analytical. The point about the slides, I really like that, because that was needed. The suggestions were really good that you gave. Avoid saying you. Avoid saying you. You could have said this, my speaker, Santosh, or he. Yeah, Toastmaster Santosh, whatever. Because when you use the word you, it becomes a one-to-one conversation between you and him, and the audience is left aside. that can be avoided. Nisreen, first time as an evaluator, and the most challenging project for an evaluator, because it's not a very simple project where somebody comes here and gives a speech and then you evaluate them based on certain things. This project itself was a bit complicated, but well done, you managed it very well. I know she's been preparing for this evaluation effectively. So again, motivational, but in spite of all the challenges to evaluate such a project. You mentioned something about speak to the speaker. So you want him to speak directly to the speaker? I don't think that's the right way. So again, he's a project speaker. So he's speaking to the entire audience. So that is something which probably you need to go back and check in the project. It cannot be that he should speak directly to the speaker. He's giving a gist of that speech to the entire audience to prove that he's been listening. So it's about listening effectively, to prove that, and which you did quite well. I felt it need not have been so stretched also. So just maybe one line, two line, the major gist of the whole thing, summarizing it. So I think some things you took it a bit long. That was okay, since you are also doing similar projects for the first time. Word report, thank you very much for the report, and thanks to all those people who use the word gestalt. Gestalt is also, I think there's probably another meaning to gestalt, which gestalt is also connected to psychology, I think, right? Gestalt therapy. Yeah. So that's a different spelling altogether. It's the same. Yeah, it's the same spelling. So that's another meaning for this word.
No, they are all connected.
They're all connected.
Yes.
Oh, it's the same word. Okay, yeah. I've heard this word in psychology.
The psychologists, they use this principle that you combine parts
Okay.
to look at the whole picture.
Okay. Good. Nice. Yeah, so there's a lot of meaning behind that word gestalt. It's used in different references. And grammarian, wow, amazing grammarian report. You know what I like best? He started off, as a grammarian, with an amazing word. What is that? Rollicking experience. The grammarian. So, and he was listening quite effectively. He mentioned all the words that were used and the suggestions on improvement. Well done on that. Some general things, the positives, nice venue. We've been trying to find a good venue. If this is affordable, yeah, it's a nice venue for us. Snacks, as usual, very well. Thank you very much.
Not me.
Who? Oh, Rashid. Okay. I was about to tell you that Medu Vada needs a chutney also. But now I'll tell him. But he was our last year sergeant at arms. But even now he's everywhere. So we still feel that he's doing it. Time management I really love. A few suggestions. When the TMOD was initially, when he was explaining about his theme, there was some side conversations happening which can be avoided, disturbances. If you have to say something, you can always go out of the room, finish that part and come in again. Our club can afford a new banner because our club is not Dubai chapter, our club is Dubai Toastmasters Club. We had a new banner, I don't know where it is, this is the old banner actually. So anyway, go for a new banner, we can afford it. And I'm against all these things, because the show of the banner is spoiled by putting all these things. Our club is very old, we have lots of ribbons. If we keep adding ribbons, we won't see the banner. So I think we should avoid this and keep it in a box, just accumulate it. But let the banner be neat and clean, with the correct name on the banner. So let's go for that. Encourage the audience, TMOD can do that once in a while if you find that it's not happening, to shake hands as they come in and as they leave. It's like handing over between the TMOD and the role player. Of course, for cultural reasons, if you can't shake hands, that's fine, we understand. But otherwise, normally, that's a good thing to do. And also, I request the audience to applaud. So when a role player is called and coming in, applaud till they come here and shake hands with the TMOD. And also applaud again as they leave from here and get back to their seat. That brings in some energy. It's a good feeling to the role player as he's coming in and is going back. Yeah, yeah, that's all from me, and thank you very much. And I'm so happy that I came before Dylan. Dylan came before I did my role. Yeah? So thank you very much. Let's give him a big round of applause. Let's give a structured applause to him.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster V.P. Menon, for that amazing general evaluation. And now we've come to the end of our structure. So let's reflect a little bit and see what we have. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's first vote for the best role player using the blocker here. It's coming in. Are you okay?
Still coming. Please vote. Only 3 people have voted. Now 5. 6. 8. 10.
Alright.
10 people have voted.
Well, that comes in.
Yeah, you carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Okay. Right. Now, let's reflect back on what we've learned today. We've learned a few things. We've learned why structures are important. We understand that structure is also a universal idea that exists in buildings and in biological entities in the world around us. And we've also learned the importance of structure to us, how we can apply it. We've learned the idea of having a routine and being consistent. And we've also seen the structure in action in our meetings. And we've heard a lot of routines and consistent routines that are followed by a lot of our role players. You'll notice that some like to go to the gym, it's more physical, has a specific goal. Some is being in touch with friends, being in touch with family, and others is about giving something out to the world, putting a smile on someone's face. So anything you can do that adds that little bit of routine and structure can improve your life or the people around you. So make sure that whatever you're trying to do in your life, trying to achieve, add some structure to it, add some routine, and by adding that structure, you will certainly become a diamond. I like this picture here.
What did you say? Become a dad?
Diamond. I like this picture, which is why I selected it. This picture is not famous, but I just came across it on the internet. I like this because if you look at the bottom here, it's all crumpled up. But the top, that's structure. Bottom's messy, but the top is nice and neat. And what this tells me is, even if your life is a little bit messy, you can always put a structure and make it look beautiful.
You can always have a Ronaldo.
And with that, I would like to hand it back to Madam President to close the meeting. Please welcome.
Structure, structure, structure. How did you like the meeting? Excellent. Excellent. I thought as well. So the gestalt of the meeting, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Gestalt of the meeting, okay. Got spoiled. It does not only lie with the theme of the meeting, or it lies in all the role players. So congratulations each one of you for a wonderful meeting, and a special round of applause for the Toastmaster of the day, Minesh Ratnadurai. So without any further ado, let me announce the winners of today's meeting. So the Best Speaker Award goes to Toastmaster Sandeep Adnani, who's
We saw all the names.
Solid. Shoot master, shoot.
also the trophy.
Trophy.
Good.
There is a trophy?
Wait.
The trophy also.
Yes.
I was waiting for that.
Now he's happier. The Best Evaluator Award goes to the super energetic Toastmaster George Manoj.
Manoj will soon have to buy a few cupboards.
Wait for that. Okay.
So that's
Because he takes home a cup in every meeting.
the Best Table Topic Speaker goes to our guest, Mr. Mario. It's another reason to join our club.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Show the award.
Come forward.
Come forward, yes.
Yeah. Like this. Better.
Otherwise the light falls on your face.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
With great pleasure, the Best Role Player Award goes to Toastmaster Dylan Joseph.
Forward.
He also took up the role in the last moment, so one more big round of applause for him. Thank you so much. Can I have the- So we don't have many announcements today, but first timers, yes, it's very important. So we have some first timers. I'm sorry, this is playing up as usual. We have a first timers, Toastmaster Shrikant Iyer was not here. Toastmaster Rashmi Nair took up the place of the Greek master. So a round of applause, although she's not the first timer, but she's always there to rescue us, and it's not the first time.
Shrikant, first time he was not here.
Toastmaster Alexandra for the World Master. Toastmaster Umar Bakas, the evaluator. Toastmaster.
I thought I had seen him do evaluation.
No, this was the first
he
time.
was not evaluated. 3 years
He was a speech last time.
before he was a member.
Ah.
Toastmaster Nasreen Ali as the evaluator. And Toastmaster Nurian as the assistant to Sergeant at Arms and also the secretary today. Thank you so much for your contribution. So the next meeting is our ex-Sergeant at Arms who is very difficult to forget.
He's going to forgive a lot of people.
And the theme of, it is on 14th of August, and the theme is forgiveness.
He's not liking it.
I think the previous speech was on jealousy, now it's forgiveness. So I can't wait, but I'm not here, I'm sorry. And in the announcement...
He will never forgive you.
We have made this announcement that Toastmasters International has increased their TMI fees from 45 dirhams to 60 dirhams and dollars. I'm so sorry, to dollars. And the interested members, whoever's interested to pay the membership fees, it will be a great saving for the club. So please come forward. But the last date is tomorrow. So if you want to pay your TMI fees, please come forward and pay them by cash by tomorrow.
Is it the old? Is it the old?
From 45 to 60, they have increased to and if we pay by the end of this month, only then it's the old price, and effective 1st of August, it's going to be $60. I would like to, sorry?
How do we pay?
You have to pay, you contact the ExCom team and we will let you know how much to pay.
So the club will pay on our behalf and then...
Yes, the club pays on the members' behalf. Thank you, Toastmaster Minesh, for rescuing. Yeah, so the club will pay on your behalf. You have to pay.
Yeah, so member is just paying the club dues, which includes this anyway.
Yeah,
Unless you pay the club dues, they can't pay it too.
They want us to confirm it so that we get the saving.
So club gets the saving.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I want to, do we still have the time?
Yes. 5 minutes.
1 minute.
Okay, so I would like to, any of my ExCom team members, if they want to come forward and make any announcement. Toastmaster Joywheel, if anyone wants to join the education team, please contact him. Please send that message on the group. Please come forward.
Thank you, President. And thank you, everybody, today in a fantastic meeting. And first of all, let me thank her because I fell sick and she took the reign over that. And we managed to pull over today's meeting. Thank you so much, President, on all the ExCom. Though she was sick as well, but she took over it, for example. Now, I have requested for few members, anybody, and especially I will prefer any new members, to assist me in the VP education role. Now, this is very good role. You can understand like how ExCom operates. You will be invited in few ExCom meetings. You can see like how we structure the meeting and what we discuss for the benefit and for the best interest of the club. Plus, you will also understand what is the pathways, how do we formalize a meeting and everything. And next year onwards, probably you can take up full-fledged role in ExCom. So I invite you all, especially the newbies, to be my, I would say, help me out. Thank you.
I invite any members, new members or existing members to join the VP membership team, especially if you like to talk to people, like to talk to guests, you like to talk to members. As you know, for example, today the Great Master last minute didn't come, so we needed support. And luckily Toastmaster Rashmi was able to save us today. So thank you for that. That's why I need more members in my team. I already have 2 members, but for example, they are not today because they are traveling or they are not available. So 2 or 3 people are not enough. We need more than that. And so basically what you will be doing is that we will have a group on WhatsApp, and I will be sending you names of guests. You can contact these guests to help them to understand what Toastmasters is and to help them to become a member in our club, and also to support the Great Master by welcoming guests, welcoming members, assisting the Great Master, and just to really be the representative of the club and to be the sort of the host. And this actually doesn't stop only at VP membership or the VP membership team. Every single member of our club is a representative of the club. So every one of us has that duty actually to be the host of the guests, to be there to give to our guests a memorable experience. That's what makes our club very special, and that we have so many people who want to join our club. It's that touch, that warmth. When they come, they immediately feel the good energy and that family sort of feeling in our club. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Toastmaster Suketu, do you have
Nothing.
Okay, in the interest of time.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for shall give you opportunity in the next meeting. In the interest of time, I now declare this meeting 737 as closed. Good evening. Have a
Feedback from guests.
Yeah, we would love to have some feedback from the guest. Anyone would like to come forward or be in their seats and tell us how you enjoyed the meeting?
Of course.
Yeah, you can.
But I still close the meeting on time. This one's
Not 54, 1 minute early.
One still, 1 minute.
Thank you so much, everyone. It was an excellent experience. It was a great pleasure to be here, to meet everyone and each of you. And also it was very important for me because, let's say, it was the first practical time that I had the opportunity to give a public speech and express my ideas and concerns regarding this very important matter. And thank you so much. And also it was very important because during, let's say, this session, I enhanced my knowledge and I gained very important insights regarding the leadership and public speaking, which is very important because always when we are improving ourselves to be leaders, we can inspire also other people and also in the end of the day ourselves. We can make impact, we can develop ourselves, become better and give the example for other people to follow us. Thank you so much and we appreciate it. Thank you so much. And also thank you for this honor to be awarded with this prize. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. And I should mention this, like I was visiting about 30 clubs in UAE so far for my 6 months journey in Dubai. What I really liked about your club is the professionalism that you bring on the table. That every senior member is contributing to the growth of the club and sharing their experience. And always I believe Toastmaster meeting, professional Toastmaster meeting is a university, it's a research hub to enhance ourselves. So thank you very much for that great opportunity.
So it was a great experience, first of all, and thank you everyone for welcoming me into the club. Thank you VP for suggesting me the club as well. What I would say is today's theme actually embodies what Toastmasters International is, and that's what I understood. It's a very structured, approach to public speaking, and I really like, about it. That's what I liked about the whole thing. Everything is noted down. Everything is given importance. It's given an equal importance, which is what I liked about today. So yeah, that's pretty much my feedback for today. Thank you.
Nisha,
do you like to say something?
Yeah, it was a great meeting, well structured.
CBAs are always structured, right?
And the power vested in me, I now declare this meeting.
Next
finally
meeting you are closing. This meeting is
closed,
already
closed and closed. Thank you everyone. Have a blessed night. Thank you.